She stood at the door every morning, even when the air was cold and her hands were shaking. Neighbors thought she was just watching the street, but the truth was heavier than that. Every sound, every shadow, every passing dog made her heart stop for a second. Because once, not long ago, this same street was where she lost him. And today, she'd already told herself, just like she had told herself 100 times before, that she would probably never see him again. What said didn't know was that this ordinary day was about to turn into the most unbelievable moment of her life. Imagine losing the one soul that made your house feel alive. For her, that soul was a small, aging dog, with cloudy eyes and a slow walk, but a heart that somehow understood her better than any human ever had. She found him years ago at a shelter, both of them already a little broken, both of them needing a second chance. From that day on, they became each other's entire world. When she talked, he listened. When she cried, he stayed close. When she laughed, his tail moved like it was the happiest thing on earth. He wasn't just a pet. He was her family. Then, one afternoon, everything changed. She was taking him for their usual short walk, the same path they had walked hundreds of times before. A loud noise echoed down the street, sudden and sharp. The leash slipped from her hand. In seconds, he was gone. She called his name until her voice cracked. She searched until her legs couldn't carry her anymore. That night, she slept with the lights on, the door unlocked, whispering his name into the silence, hoping somehow he would hear her. Days turned into weeks. Posters went up. Phone calls were made. Hope slowly faded into something quieter and more painful. Friends tried to comfort her, telling her to stay strong, telling her maybe someone kind had found him. But deep down, she felt it. At his age, out there alone, the chances were not kind. She started preparing herself for a goodbye she never got to say. If stories like this move you even a little, take a second to like this video and subscribe to Logic Unlocked. It really helps the channel grow and allows us to share more real, emotional stories like this one with you. Life went on, but her routine never changed. She still set down an extra bowl of water by the door. She still talked to the empty space where his bed used to be. And every morning, she still opened the door and looked down the street, even though her mind kept telling her not to expect anything. Hope is a strange thing. Even when it hurts, it refuses to disappear completely. What said didn't know was that miles away, her dog was still holding on. He wandered streets he didn't recognize, guided more by memory than sight. He slept near doorsteps, waited near parks, and somehow avoided danger again and again. People saw him. Some tried to help, but he always walked away, as if he was looking for something specific, or someone. Then one day, a volunteer from a local rescue spotted him. Old, tired, thin, but still gentle. When they scanned his chip, a name appeared, and with it, an address. A quiet street. A small house. A woman who had never stopped waiting. The call came in the afternoon. She almost didn't answer. Her hands shook as she listened. At first, she didn't understand the words. Found, safe, alive. When it finally hit her, she sat down on the floor and cried like she hadn't cried in years. Not from sadness this time, but from something too big to hold inside. The rescue team decided to surprise her. They didn't want to just bring him back quietly. They wanted to capture the moment, the kind of moment that reminds people why hope still matters. They told her they were coming to talk about her lost dog, nothing more. She waited inside, nervous, confused, with no idea what was about to happen. When the door opened, she saw the volunteers first. She smiled politely, the way you smile when you don't want to get your hopes up. Then she heard a sound, soft, familiar, a small, uneven bark. Her body froze. Her heart knew before her mind could catch up. He stepped into the doorway slowly, older, thinner, but unmistakably him. For a second, neither of them moved. Then he saw her. His tail started to wag, weak at first, then faster. She dropped to her knees, covering her mouth, whispering his name like it was a prayer. He walked straight to her, as if no time had passed at all. The room disappeared. There was no camera, no volunteers, no noise. Just a woman and her dog, finally back where they belonged. She held him like she was afraid he might fade away if she let go. Tears fell onto his fur, and he licked her hands, the same way he used to every morning. Moments like this don't need words, but they change everyone who sees them. They remind us that love doesn't forget, that loyalty doesn't disappear, that sometimes, even when everything tells you it's over, life finds a way to surprise you. She later said something that stuck with everyone there. She said she never stopped talking to him, even when he was gone. She believed, somehow, that he could still hear her. And maybe he did. Stories like this are why we share them here on Logic Unlocked. Not just for the happy ending, but for the reminder that patience, love, and hope can survive even the longest separation. After that day, her house felt alive again. The extra bowl of water was no longer just a habit. His bed was back in its place. Their walks were shorter now, slower, but more meaningful than ever. Every step was a gift. Every moment, something she thought she had lost forever. If this story touched your heart, let us know in the comments. Have you ever been reunited with someone or something you thought was gone forever? Share this video with someone who believes in second chances. And don't forget to stay connected with Logic Unlocked for more powerful, real-life stories that remind us why hope is always worth holding on to.